This channel is part of the Nick Terrell Network. Sit back, relax and enjoy your featured presentation.
Hi guys, hello and welcome back to another video right here on Chit Happens. So it feels like it's been forever, so here I am back with another board game unboxing. So this time we've gone with The Last of Us Escape the Dark in a really heavy box. So Steph and I have been watching season 2 of The Last of Us. I do feel that season 1 has been better, but this is not my little rant about the TV series. This is the board game unboxing. So I saw this on Amazon at a reasonable price. I haven't bought a board game for a while, and I thought, you know what, why not? So there is the back of the box. So you can see straight away it's all in like a black and white style, which, you know, is nice. And it says, Last of Us Escape the Dark. The Last of Us Escape the Dark is an atmospheric survival board game set in the world of the critically acclaimed Naughty Dog video game franchise, which I still haven't played, you know, even though it's installed on my PlayStation 3. To reach safety, players must explore the treacherous landscape together, risking extreme danger to gather vital supplies, balancing the need to survive today against the need to prepare for tomorrow. Players Joel, Ellie, and other iconic characters encounter Fedra, hunters and the infected, craft items and upgrade your weapons, create a new story of survival each game. Can you escape the dark? So this one says it's 60 to 120 minutes, so an hour to 2 hours. Most importantly, 1 to 5 players. I am hoping to get Steph to play this with me. We'll go through as Joel and as Ellie. Possibly in the future we'll do like a gameplay. Ages 14 plus. So yeah, the initial reactions, to looking at the back of the box, this is something I think I really am going to fancy. It reminds me Escape the Dark Tower, Dark Castle, sorry. What was the other one? Escape the something sector. They were both the same kind of aesthetics as this. It's an interesting choice because you could have kind of gone with the colour and done sort of screenshots from the game or indeed the TV show or aesthetics, but hey, you know, I don't have an issue with it. I'm just putting it out there as, you know, devil's advocate. Okay, so contents: 1 game board, 6 survivor boards, 154 cards, 68 custom dice, 68 dice, 94 tokens and 1 rule book. So let's break into the box and see what it's all about. So stick in the comments below. Have you watched, I'm struggling here, have you watched The Last of Us TV series? What's better for you, season 1 or season 2 as it's working out? Have you played the games? They do come, they are, like I said, on the back of the box, critically acclaimed. It's just something I've never got round to doing and I need to. But are you a fan of the board games, of the video games? Have you played the first? Did you play the second? I know a lot of people said the disparities from 1, you know, wasn't for them, but hey ho. Oh, now this is a really large rule book. I'll stick that to one side and we'll have a look at that in a minute. Let's go for the components, shall we? Okay, so we've got a nice big folding out board. I'm going to get caught out here trying to show you this, I know. So I can see some locations: lakeside, university, sewers, downtown and suburbs. So I'm going to try and open that for you and show you the joys of being a board game unboxing channel. There you go. So you get a rough idea of what the board looks like. This is only 2/3 of it. There is another level down. So yeah, straight away the aesthetics, yeah, they look okay. And I haven't folded it back up to put it down, so it's all squidiff. Okie dokie, let's have a look at this. Now these are nice. They really are. The player boards, survivor boards. So you can't even bend them. They're nice. So we've got Ellie here. It says Might 2, Cunning 4, Wisdom 3, and then there's various little... Now I do like this, there's various indents in these. I think it's oh god, it's Terraforming Mars, and that was shocking. You've got the board, player board there, and you'd knock it and the dice, they'd fly, little cubes would fly all over the place. Shocking. So this I do like. So there you go, you can see the indents here. That's really nice, that. And the artwork is very nice as well. So we've got melee weapon, ammo, range weapon, item. So these, to me, I won't use the term like idiot proof because that's like a bit cruel, isn't it? But you know, you can't really kind of go wrong, can you? You know exactly where to put all your stuff if you find a melee weapon or whatever. So we got Joel. So his might is 4, cunning 2, wisdom 3. So obviously all the characters that you play have different attributes. We've got Tess, might 3, cunning 4, wisdom 2. We have Tommy, might 3, cunning 2, wisdom 4. Nearly dropped that then. And we have Bill, might 4, cunning 3, wisdom 2. So, you know, it's up to yourselves who you play. I mean, I think... Oh, sorry, there's one more left here. Marlene, might 2, cunning 3, wisdom 4. So, yeah, going back to my point, it'd be, like, up to yourselves who you play. But I'd imagine, in a situation like, say, myself and Steph, or, like, you know, a couple or anybody kind of playing, a couple of mates, whatever... you're 2 players, you're going to be Joel and Ellie, aren't you? But it's nice if you've got, like, more mates around, or if you just fancy something different, you might go through it as, like, you know, Joel and Ellie and think, okay, you know, I'll go through as, like, say, Marlene and Bill, you know, hey-ho. So I'm going to remove the top layer. Got one of those little silica bag things. Nice little cardboard inlay. Okay, so we get to the meat and tatties of it now then. I do love these board games where they're sort of presented and everything's got these like little sorts of plastic things on top, like little covers. It's just nice. To me, it just goes to show that like the producers, the makers of the game, have gone that little bit further, which is nice. Okay, so immediately we see a great big pack of cards. A smaller playing card pack of cards. We have a little box here with a load of dice, and they've all got symbols on that match up to the symbols on the player cards. Got some other dice. They might be combat dice. They've got like sort of crosshairs on. And we got some white dice. Oh, now they're individualised. You can see on there you've got like sort of Joel. So each player obviously must have like their own dice for like to go along with like their might or something if you do like maybe tests to see if you're going to do something. So that's nice. Put them back there before I end up losing all of them. And then we've got another box. There we go. So in here, now I like this because there's tokens, but they've all been popped already. So you've got like, I don't know what these mean. I'm just sort of giving you like a little bit of a flick through them. But yeah, they are nice then. I do like them. They're about the size of a, maybe just a bit bigger, about a 10 pence piece in like the United Kingdom. I'm not sure, like US coins. We got some grey cubes, so they'll obviously go on your player boards to fill in all your little attributes. And we've got another set of white dice. Again, they've got crosshairs on, so you might have sort of like the black ones for the baddies, like the white ones for, you know, the heroes. I've got my trusty knife here, so I'm going to have a quick open of these little cards. What I'm going to do, I'm not going to go through them all. Obviously, I never ever do because I want to leave it as some form of surprise. But like on the back of these, I'm just flicking through randomly. They say stashed item, so we're going to be going around kind of scavenging. And the first one we come across is a plank. It's got a keyword durability. It's a melee weapon. Whenever you hit an enemy, you may discard 1 durability cube to remove an additional black square, which might mean wound or something. But again, there you go. Anybody who's actually sort of played this, and I don't know why, but they're sort of like watching the unboxing, that make more sense to you. Ranged weapon, El Diablo. Capacity, it looks like it's got 2 dice, a maximum fire rate is 1, and then the damage. So if you look at the little panel there, that probably indicates how the combat works. It tells you how many dice and what kind of damage dice we do, and etc. Let's do one more for fun. Let's see. 9mm pistol. There we go. And again, you just see all the symbology for the dice and the damage and that kind of thing, which will become apparent when we play it. So there's stashed items. Camp, 2 to 3 survivors. That looks like a draw 2 card. It says on there, junkyard, 1 use, draw 2 items, 1 survivor only. A quarantine zone, Fedra card. Gain intel, draw 3 items. So, you know, obviously we're going to be going from place to place. I think the mechanic of it is like, you've got like enemies there and you've got to clear the enemies, clear the path before you move on to like the next location. So, as is the norm with these kind of games, you know, you're going to see all the locations very, very quickly because there's only sort of like 5 or 6 of them. But you can kind of pick your own path. Do you go this way and face that? Do you go that way and face this? You've got like the randomisation of like the items and stuff. So maybe our first playthrough we might all get like a couple of guns and things, and then the next playthrough we might find anything, or you know, so we can see like where we're going with it. A crafted item. Okay, a Molotov. So it says you do a sneak check and a combat round. So you must have to obviously be able to sort of craft, you know, sort of petrol and something else to make that. Now, I like the idea of that. It makes the game more interesting. A shiv. So these are all like items that you can make. And again, I presume like they'd be sort of more silent. You know, like it'd be more silent, like killing like the infected with a knife as like a rifle. And an item. A snack bar. Preparation, action, discard to restore 1 hit point. So you're seeing like the way this is going, aren't you? I'm not going to go through like the rest of them. I mean, to be honest, I was quite curious myself as well, so I want to have like a little peep of them. Yes, I could have done it off camera, of course I could, but why don't we do it together? So obviously the board game now is going to be covered with piles of cards, various different ones, discard piles and different stuff that you can do and get. Let's have a look at one of these big ones. There we go. So these are like kind of, about like sort of 6 inches by about 4 inches. Have a look at them. Do you know what? I'm going to do this one day. It's a really bad habit. I don't recommend it, even though I do it on every video. I'm going to end up putting like the knife in one of these and end up damaging one of the cards. Right. Okay, so this is one of the suburb cards. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to read a little bit of text for you, just to give you an idea as like an illustration, okay? So on the nightstand of this basement bedroom, you find a blood-smeared journal. Hesitant to read at first, you're soon engrossed by its brutal honesty. The tattered pages reveal a life of a great hardship, and you learn much more about survival against seemingly impossible odds. It then lets you discard a threat token and search. Okay, so let's have a look at these. So we've got cards for the lakeside, cards for the university, cards for the sewers, and I'm deliberately not telling you what's on the other side of any of these. Cards for downtown. So I think I've seen something somewhere round and about, and it basically says that you can go along, like search these and whatever, but like I think there's something like randomly select, say, 3 different cards out. I think it's like 6 of each location, so you're only sort of like randomly finding 3 cards per location. So again, you are like mixing that up. Okay, so let's put this down here and have a look at this book. So right now I'm quite impressed. Do you know what I mean? I've got to go to work today, so I'm not going to have a chance to set it up on the table, but I've got a couple of days off soon, so I'll probably sit down and do it. Yeah, this is about the size of an LP record and about the thickness, to be honest. So let's take a look at it. Okay, about the game, an overview. Well, we all know what The Last of Us is, don't we? The story, survival strategy, and then it gives us the index. Okay, so it's just all your normal stuff. I'm not going to read every single like sub thing, but it's like components, setup, playing the game, combat, and ending the game. Okay, so there's the idea. Again, we're still staying in like the black and white. I mean, obviously we will, but you know, that type of format where we're sort of showing all the different pieces and the layout and how many things we should have. So remember I said before about them chapter cards as an example. So there's 7 different chapter cards. So you've got 7 for the downtown, for lakeside, university, suburbs, and the sewers. So there you go. Yeah, go through the components, how we set up the board. So again, it's just giving us nice clear directions on what we do, how we shuffle different decks in, where we put them, etc. Threat tracks, preparing the survivors. So it's just showing us how to set up our pool of horrible glare there, sorry. How we set up our pool of dice. So it says survivor dice. Each survivor comes with a unique 6-sided die. We saw that before. The number of icons on each die corresponds to the stats in these 3 traits. That's might, cunning, wisdom. So yeah, we've got our character board, we've got our own character die, and then I'm presuming all the different items have so many dice to roll. That's where I'm thinking. It tells us about items and inventory, how we play the game. So it says how we start in the quarantine zone, how we work through the turns, which are called days, and then it says we can travel, we can take actions, how we clear a location, how we search, losing a day, adding boss tokens, when to draw blind, preparation actions, so you can trade, craft, upgrade a weapon, reload and use an item, and the end of the day, the end of the turn, move the survivor calendar marker along the calendar track one space to the right, and there's like 17 little spaces you can move that along, so we're obviously on a timer there as well. End of the day, move that calendar along, flip the tokens of all survivors to their white side, so the white and the dark side must indicate the fact you've moved and activated, and begin the new day with the travel phase. So straight away we see we've got where are we, a travel phase, an action phase, so it looks like 2 phases per turn per player. So up to now it's nice, it's quite straightforward. Now this is nice, an example day, so it shows us quite clearly how we run through a turn. I'm not going to go into that, this is quite a long book. Combat, how we set up combat, how many dice you roll, that kind of thing. Nice clear diagrams there. Combat rounds, melee attacks, how you shoot, how you throw, reload, pass an action, an example of the combat, which is really nice. And ending the game, it says you win if you defeat the boss at Jackson with all survivors still alive. You lose if any survivor's hit points is reduced to 0, they didn't make it, or the survival calendar marker and infected calendar marker are on the same space of the calendar track. Oh, okay, so it must go this way and come in. I think it's zombie side that does that, if I'm not wrong, and if they mix, you're in trouble. Or a 6th boss token is placed beside the boss card. So a lot of it appears that you are racing against time, fighting different people, folks, things like that, finding stuff and crafting stuff, and you've got to keep your whole team alive. So Joel and Ellie have got to both make it to the end, or if you've got, say, 6 you're playing, 5 you're playing, all you've got to make it. So I really like that, because that does encourage proper cooperative teamwork. And what I love about games like this is you can play them on your own. You can set up like sort of, I say, we're always going to go Joel and Ellie, aren't we? Let's be fair, without downgrading the other characters. But you can control them, you can play the game on your own, which is really, really nice, because we can't always get our mates around, can we? Our partner, or our kids or whatever, because people have got lives, we've all got jobs, we've all got commitments and that. Okay, so we now, right, okay, so I know now why the book is so thick. So we've got a nice, it was Escape the Dark Castle, and it was Escape the Dark Sector. So I'd said about that beforehand, but it's obviously the same company that make it. And I mean, I did kind of twig, because like when you're doing these videos, you're thinking stuff as well as talking. So, but yeah, you can see the differences between them. So what I would say is, if you've got either of those games and you like them, you're going to like this. And then the rest of the book appears to be, it's all special thanks, and there's like a ton of different names. So they may well be designers, they may well be backers, I don't know. Okay, so that has been the unboxing and first impressions of The Last of Us board game. Let me know what you think below. I say drop them comments. Are you a fan of the show? Are you a fan of the games? Do you watch a show and not play the games? Do you play the games and not watch a show? Where are you at with The Last of Us? What are you thinking? Okay, if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. Feel free to share the video, hit a like, but more importantly, leave me your comments below. I've been Nick, this has been Chit Happens with The Last of Us, and I'll see you on the next one.
Be sure to hit that subscribe button and join the Knit Around network today.